Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. Thursday morning, 8:50 a.m. We have an extra segment for you this morning to talk to Tom Schillaci, filmmaker who is back in the Four Corners to again screen episode 7 of his series of films about the Gold King mine spill here in the Four Corners. This is episode 7 that'll be on the big screen here next week in Farmington. Tom Schillaci is joining me here in the studio. Good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning, Scott. Thank you. And Yate.
Thank you. Nice to see you. And you are back. Last time we talked, you were going to have a screening, I think, in the Silverton area and Durango area, right? Earlier this summer.
Yes. I screened episode 7 in Silverton, give them a sneak preview.
Right.
And then down in Durango, it was on August 5th, which was the 10th anniversary of the Gold King mine spill.
Right. That's right.
Showed it at the Powerhouse Science Center. And I counted 61 people there. There might have been a few more.
Okay.
It was a great screening, great showing. People were very interested.
Good. And now you're bringing it to Farmington.
Yes.
Next week, as a matter of fact.
September 17th.
Right.
At the Tota Theater. Doors open at 5, and if you have a story to tell of when you first saw the Orange River, we could do that.
Sure.
And then the free movie starts at 6 p.m. It's an hour and 5 minutes.
Okay.
If there's any questions afterwards, I'd be available for questions.
Sure. Right. And this is, again, episode 7. And so you've kind of, I think, combined a lot of some of the previous episodes and then put in some new stuff, too, to this episode. But it's a nice way to kind of get up to speed on all the things that you've been working on now for the last 10 years.
Yes. Yes.
When you put it that way.
10-year project.
No kidding.
I have taken clips from each of the previous 6 episodes,
right,
and lined them up in a better story, I think. I talk about, well, the title is If My Mining Company Did That. So I talk about a few things that I would do, a few things that I would not do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Here's some clips from at least the beginning of the episode, a little bit about what happened. But I think folks that were in this area certainly remember when the river turned orange, and it was just one of those things. And then in your investigations, you've discovered kind of some of the work that was going on that kind of led to that, and then some of the other work that's gone on since then to try to clean this up and maybe not clean it up as fast as some communities might like. And it's really led you down a lot of different paths. At least that's what my view is from an outsider looking in.
Yes, it was an interesting path on how we got to the mine spill. But now that we've had some years to look at how that Superfund project has progressed, I have been able to show some areas where I would do things differently, more effectively, more efficiently. I will say right now, $140 million has been spent of taxpayer money since the mine spill.
Right.
And there's really not that much improvement in water quality below Silverton relative to mine drainage.
Sure.
Yes, there is a water treatment plant treating the water out of the Gold King mine.
Right at the site of the spill.
But there are 2 other major contributors to dissolved metals in the Animas watershed that are just flowing right by the treatment plant. And so I'm highlighting and pointing out places where the Superfund project could be better, could be a little more effective.
Got you. And this is something, again, that's been going on since mining started in the area, and even, I guess, before that, because just the geography of that area with the outcroppings and the metals in the rock and the mountains, and when it rains, those things naturally do flow into the tributaries and others, right? But not at such great levels.
Yes, there is some natural load. This is what I'm pointing out
Look at
right
that young
now.
guy back 10 years ago.
Yeah. Natural geology, and when it rains, I mean, Red Mountain isn't called Red Mountain for nothing.
Yeah.
When snow and rain hits that geology, Mineral Creek turns orange, and it hits the Animas River, and it comes down below Silverton. So
right, even today.
Oh yeah,
even today, right? Yeah. And so, and it's not necessarily a mine spill; it's just naturally occurring runoff, basically.
Right.
With a little extra, probably, from some of these sites you're talking about, though.
Yes. This pulse, though, that resulted from the Gold King mine spill did reach all the way down to Farmington and hit the San Juan River.
And beyond, that's right.
And came up through the Navajo Nation, and some of it made its way to Lake Powell.
Right. And that's what got so much attention, obviously,
yes.
and was so concerning for folks, obviously, because it had never gotten this far. And I guess if you live north of Durango, an Orange River occasionally for a few minutes during the day is a normal thing after a rainstorm or something.
Yes. I show in episode 7, agricultural producer between or below Silverton, but north of Durango, sees the Orange River, a couple of times in a season.
Right.
I interviewed a few kayakers that in that famous picture from the Durango Herald, those 3 kayakers in the Orange River.
Right.
They also say storm events can turn the river orange, and so it does happen more frequently north of New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But this mine spill really took New Mexico and the Navajo Nation by surprise.
Sure. And that's what you talk about, too, I think, was some of the issues with notification, who didn't call, who did call,
yes.
When did they call, those types of things. And then some of the other activities to try to protect some of the agricultural users in this part of the Four Corners, because it's a very different kind of lifestyle, I guess, around the river between maybe the Durango and La Plata County folks and folks here in San Juan County, and definitely on the Navajo Nation. And so there were a lot of concerns about irrigation ditches and maybe shutting them off from the river. And some, you were telling me before we came on the air, some had gates worked, some didn't. And so they found that and some other issues too. Yes.
It was, again, I caught off guard, really. And the EPA had a satellite photo of one of the ditches that was not closed. And so you kind of see the Orange River trail off in an irrigation ditch. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so episode 7, as we said, there's a little bit of a recap, little bit of what you found since episode 6 and where things are going. There's still, I think, a lot of conversations, a lot of talk with the EPA about how widespread the problem is or might be up in the mining areas of southwestern Colorado. And there's several, I think, and there are some like Gold King that they're kind of watching and worried about and looking at. And of course, it's going to take money to fix anything up there. And I guess that's part of the conversation, correct?
Yes. A few years ago, there was an interim record of decision for 26 mine cleanup projects. Some of them really are not meant to improve water quality. And that's my beef with the whole thing is I thought the whole project or the whole point of a Superfund project was to improve water quality.
Right.
So I do show some areas where they could improve. And to that, the project manager for the Superfund project at the Bonita Peak Mining District north of Silverton, she was at the screening in Durango.
Right.
And I also spoke. Actually, episode 7 came about because I spoke in 2024 at a mining conference in Leadville. So that project manager had come up to me and said, thanks for showing that. There there may be some areas where we could improve our processes. So for a project manager to see my video and to come to me after and say, maybe we could improve, thanks for showing that.
Right.
That was more than I could ask for.
Interesting. Yeah, very true. Well, congratulations, I think, to get their attention, right?
Yes.
And at least have that ongoing conversation, because again, we're 10 years out and we're still talking about this.
Yes.
And that's a big investment of time and money. You've been really kind of self-funding these projects. I think you've had some supporters, but a lot of this is on you.
Well, yes. Here's an interesting story.
Okay.
There was a U.S. Senate field hearing of the Committee on Indian Affairs held in Phoenix about this Gold King mine spill. I was going down to Phoenix to record that. Someone in Silverton wanted to fund that trip. Gave some money for travel. And for about 3 months after, kept ripping me online on I should do this, or I should say this, or I should show that.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I gave him his money back. I said, give this money to somebody else who's going to do the video you want. I'm going to do the video I want.
Right.
So I can say in my videos, I kept no money.
Oh, so it is all you.
It is all me.
Okay. All right. There you go. So again, we're just about out of time, Tom, but it's coming up next week, September 17th. That's Wednesday at the Tota Theater in Farmington, 5:00. You'll have kind of an open mic type situation if folks want to tell their stories.
Tell their stories. Yeah.
Okay. And then in 6:00, the film will start, about an hour and 5 minutes, you said.
Yes.
Gotcha. And we'll learn more about all that you've been investigating, all that you've been learning over the last 10 years. And now I'm going to put you on the spot. I told you I'd do this. This says the final video, but is episode 7 going to be the final word on this?
Well, there are 2 bills in Congress right now to pay the claims of lost business revenue for outfitters, river rafting companies, fly fishing companies, and I think agricultural producers.
Okay.
If those bills go through the House and go through the Senate and a president signs them, I'll need to do a follow-up video on that. Because
episode 8.
That would be a celebration. I will throw a hell of a party in the Four Corners area.
There you go. Okay. So there you are. It might be this. So it might be the final video.
Yes.
But there could be an episode 8. And it's amazing to me that these businesses that were impacted, some of them, have still not been made whole from those times.
Yes.
10 years on.
Yes. Yes. And that is the phrase, made whole. Hey, the EPA administrator held up the claim form in Durango and said, fill this out. And they did. And they were denied 3 times, I think.
Yeah. Interesting. Now, some have, I think, some other uses have. We've seen some money come from the settlement of the Gold King mine spill. We've got projects in Farmington from that money. A new growers market pavilion is being built with some of those funds, and some other features on the river because they had to have specific uses tied to agriculture or the river. But for individual businesses, that's still the sticking point, apparently.
Yes, there was a settlement, or some of those claims were paid $2,500 for property damage, but these boats couldn't even go in the water. And so we're still working on it.
A waiting game.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Tom, always great to see you. I'm sorry we're out of time. It's been a great a great effort on your part to investigate this. And I don't know how many miles you put on to go to all these meetings and things. We saw some clips from Creed, and you said Leadville and other place, Phoenix. I mean, that's a big area that you have covered to try to tell this story.
Yes, I'd say I'm one of 15 people that in the early days came from Silverton to Durango to Farmington to Shiprock to those meetings and teach-ins at Shiprock Chapter House.
Right. But you keep telling the story and you keep going to those meetings. So we appreciate that. Looking forward to the film. See you next week.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome. Tom Schillaci, filmmaker, Acid Mine Nation, episode 7, If My Mining Company Did That. And you'll see what that means with episode 7 next week. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Scott.
This is KSJE Farmington.
Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.